So you want to learn how to create this crazy wave circle effect inside of After Effects, then stick around because I'm about to break it down step by step in this tutorial. And we're on the final week of the daily uploads, so if you haven't watched the last couple of tutorials or last like 30 tutorials, go ahead and check it out after this one. But let's get right into After Effects. So as you can tell, I'm in After Effects and I got this clip right here from this new Gym Legacy music video, and I'll start off by rotoscoping out my subject. So I'll select the rotor brush tool and just start masking them out like this, because this shockwave effect will basically just be on the background. And as you can see, my mask isn't the best, but it's just for this tutorial, so it doesn't really matter. But try to get your mask as clean as possible. But now that I masked out my subject, I'll press freeze right here just to lock in my rotoscope. Now that it's frozen, I'll add in a refine soft matte effect. And I'll turn down the additional edge radius to 3, and let's bump up the feather to like 7, to something like this, just so we can make the mask look a little bit cleaner. And then we'll duplicate this layer 2 times, and we'll remove all of the effects from both of the bottom layers. And the top layer will be our roto, so I'll just quickly name it roto. The middle layer will be the shockwave effect, and the bottom layer will be the background. So for the middle effect, add on a sapphire wipe circle effect, and this wipe circle effect I'll be duplicating, so I'll have 2 of those. For the top one, we can keep the wipe percent at 100, and for the bottom one, let's keep it at 0. And the top one I'll also change to out, and then I'll keyframe both of those values. And for the bottom one right here, I'll change the wipe direction to circle out. So now that I got that in place, let's go in a little bit and we can hide our background layer for now. And then I'll basically move the bottom one in a few frames. And then for the top one right here, I can turn it down to 0. And for the bottom one, I'll go all the way to the end and turn it up to 100 right here. So now we basically got this effect going on. And if you want it to be thinner, then you just move your keyframes closer to each other like this. I think this is what I'm gonna go for, so I'll ease my keyframes because it's a little bit stiff, but I guess this will do. And now we can bring our background layer back into place, and I will add on the effects onto this layer. We'll start off with a refine soft matte, and I guess we'll hide our background layer once again just so we can see what we're doing. And the refine soft matte is just to give the edges a little bit of a feather once again, so we'll bump up the feather like all the way up to 100, and we'll bump up the smoothness to like 20, or we can turn down the feather to like 50. Pretty much depends on your clip, but this is what I'm gonna go for. So next we can add on a turbulent displace, and this turbulent displace will give us that kind of trippy look onto this. So we'll turn down the size to like 40, and then the amount, I guess I'll keep it at 50. And then we can add on a distort chroma onto this, and we'll keep this distort chroma really low. So let's go for like 0.1, and for the blur lens you can keep it at 96. That's good. Unhide our background layer, we got this going on, and I'll play it through and see what it looks like. So it's a really cool effect, it looks really good. But one thing I want to do is create a new adjustment layer, and to this adjustment layer I'll add on a distort chroma. And for this distort chroma, I'll change the matte layer to shockwave and the lens to shockwave as well, and we'll select effects and masks for both of these. I did the same thing in my last tutorial and it turned out great. And then I'll turn down the blur lens to like 25 and the amount to like, let's do 0.1. So this is what it looks like without the distort chroma, and this is what it looks like with. It's just an extra detail and it looks great. And if you want to spice this up a little bit more, what I recommend that you add on is a deep glow, just to get a little bit more depth onto this layer. And we can also add on a drop shadow underneath the deep glow, and that just gives us a lot more depth. Now I'll do one last thing to spice this up. I'll open up my new plugin, the VFX Kit, which includes over 150 effects that are separated into these 8 tabs. We have everything from road effects to shakes to transitions, and basically everything that you need. So if I open up the shakes tab, we have a bunch of different shakes. We have the triple shakes up here, but if you scroll down, we have the basic shakes. So I'll just go for a subtle vertical shake, and I apply that with just one click, and then I'll turn on motion blur. And just like that, I'll play through and see what we got. That's really cool. If you want to spice it up even more, then create a new adjustment layer underneath that and add on a chromatic aberration from Universe. And I'll basically keep all the settings as they are, but I'll open up the lens texture and select the bokeh one. And just like that, we'll have these kind of lens textures in the scene as well, just to spice it up a little bit. And right here, we basically have the final result. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll have the VFX Kit linked in the description if you want to go and grab it yourself. It's a really useful plugin and I made it myself, so of course I'm a big fan of it. But if you watched this far, thank you so much for watching. If you didn't, thank you anyway, and I'll see you in the next one.